How to gain a positively unfair advantage in building credibility as an FSO. This in particular is talking about security specialists and FSO professional development. Hi, I'm Jeff Bennett, and you probably know me as the founder of Red Bike Publishing and our sister store, NISPOM Central. I also do consulting. I want to share information about professional development, and if you need it, to assist you with a clear path to NISPOM compliance or becoming an FSO. May I share with you my experience with professional development and my path to becoming an FSO, an author, speaker, and consultant? If so, stay with me, because this video is very important to your professional development and potentially your career as an FSO. And I'll answer some of the questions you may have asked. How do I become an FSO? So I'll break down some basic skills and how to acquire them, and how do I grow in my FSO career. I'll also break down training and certification opportunities that will help you establish credibility. What I'm proposing covers the following topics: a great NISPOM foundation, developing education goals, engaging with professional development opportunities, creating influence and credibility within your community, and then becoming invaluable to your organization. You see, understanding NISPOM is the foundation of any security career in the clear defense industrial base. The way to start and address your career is to read and understand the NISPOM. Believe it or not, there are too many professionals who don't read NISPOM. Even fewer can interpret it and apply it to their organizations. I realized this early in my career when I struggled with actually getting a copy of NISPOM and acquiring any kind of NISPOM or FSO training. So one goal I set long ago was to get a NISPOM in everybody's hands. See, the NISPOM isn't just for FSOs and security professionals. It's also for those who perform on classified contracts, such as contracts administrators, human resources, senior management officials, key management personnel, engineers, program managers, and on and on. How will they know how to perform under NISPOM if they don't have it and if they don't understand how to read it? So information available on NISPOM and professional development for FSOs and security professionals is very scarce. While this career field pays up to 6 figures, there are no college courses, and much of the training is on the job or do-it-yourself types of training. And this is where I want to help. First, and again, it's very critical that you understand NISPOM requirements and how to apply NISPOM to your organization. Are you interested in learning more about NISPOM? Are you interested in professional development opportunities? If so, I want to give you an opportunity to study with me. When I left the Army, I was encouraged to take a defense contracting job as someone who would work for an FSO. The specific job was working for that facility security officer in a large organization. While I knew a lot about security from my Army experience and had a security clearance, I really didn't understand what a facility security officer did. And when I asked questions to family members and peers who worked in the field, they just said comply with NISPOM. And I asked, well, what is NISPOM? And they said download it. So that's what I did. And I promised myself that I would make the NISPOM available to others. If I could do it and make it in a print copy, I would do that. It just so happened I'd liked being an author, and I developed a way to self-publish my books on security, and I found a way to get the NISPOM in a professional print quality. So how many of you are looking to become an FSO or improve your expertise or get certifications and promotions? I was, and I was encouraged to go into FSO industry, but I was really uncertain on how to get started. Fortunately, I had friends and colleagues, as I mentioned earlier, who wanted to take a chance on me and accelerate my experience with an entry-level job. As mentioned, I had a career in the Army, and I was willing to start at the very beginning and learn all I could about security under NISPOM. Again, I understood security, but I did not understand NISPOM. While I spent time reading the NISPOM, I did receive on-the-job training and job direction from experts in the field, primarily those I worked for. So I bought a lot of books online, books about security, books about risk assessment. But again, there were no NISPOM books available for me. So many times I had to develop my own career training. I was hungry for experience and I couldn't get the level of training that I wanted. In another opportunity, I'll tell you about how I developed a NISPOM study guide. In my quest, I would volunteer with my boss, the FSO, for any job available in the company. While I was assigned to one task, I asked my boss to provide me the opportunity to work other tasks so I can get a broad scope of what NISPOM required. While mentoring me, my FSO allowed me to access so many opportunities. They include self-inspections, developing a document custodian program, learning personnel security, and on and on. This company actually covered all aspects of NISPOM, and I was fortunate enough to work for that company. Gave me a lot of opportunity to learn and grow. But the sad truth is, many FSOs do not have that opportunity. Their companies are smaller, and they don't handle all aspects of NISPOM. Later, I actually took a job with another company that had very limited NISPOM compliance issues. I focused on personnel security, but I lost skill sets in document control, for example. Have you ever been in a job that did not require all of your skill set? Isn't it tough keeping that skill set sharp if you're not using it all the time? That's when I was determined to learn and grow. Your dream of achieving security excellence and FSO expertise might seem far away, but folks like me, many of you, and thousands of others have faced similar challenges that you're facing today, and we're going to guide you through it. I began to write and develop books and training to augment security education, provide tools and resources for FSOs. I developed these resources with the help of coaches and other experts. They helped me get to where I am, and I took notes that turned into books and training and study guides. One thing's for certain in this field, you have to stay sharp. If you don't stay sharp, you lose confidence to guide your companies. I see this happening in our profession all the time. You get to a job, you settle into routine, but then go months without studying your profession. If you do that, you won't remain technically proficient. Imagine a future case of you being asked about new contracting opportunities with NISPOM and certain NISPOM topics, and you can't explain what the new contracts will require. Imagine getting a notification of a new contract and you did not prepare the budget required for personnel clearances or physical security requirements. Imagine falling behind in your security tasks because you had to play catch up because you had to study about new opportunities you didn't know existed. One quick story. When I was in the Army, I had to certify every year on my MOS. That means my skill set. We had to take a test every year and recertify it. It didn't matter if I'd never performed the other tasks. I was responsible for understanding the breadth and depth of my occupation. FSOs are no different. Even though you might work only in personnel security, for example, you should be aware of NISPOM compliance in all areas and be prepared for contract opportunities. I want to help you get there. That's why I wrote my books, that's why I wrote my training. So this is super important. You've got to keep yourself involved if you really want that unfair advantage in building credibility as an FSO. You must guide your organization through NISPOM compliance, be technically competent and very confident in your skills. You've got to rehearse and practice your skill set continuously. So I knew it would take years for me to reach my goal to be confident, knowledgeable, and influential and an resourceful FSO. I'll lead you through what I learned and condense the timeline. It won't take years. It will take hard work and study on your part, but you're going to get there faster. Are you willing to put into the work? Imagine hitting your goals by increasing your understanding of NISPOM. So I saw an interview today, and many of you may have seen it as well. It was an interview with Jeff Bezos of Amazon fame. He said that an executive's role is to make a few major decisions every day. An executive isn't in the weeds studying all the time. They're making a few major decisions every day, but they have to be prepared to make those decisions. The executive should not be making overwhelming amounts of small decisions. I kind of agree with that. Believe it or not, as FSOs, we are executives. In fact, we are called key management personnel, officers of the company. Don't believe me? Just read the NIST account for your organization and those appointment orders that you're under. FSOs demonstrating credibility is vital to this success. So, do you agree with Jeff's comments? As leaders, we need to make those few major decisions daily. So, realize this. You must have a solid understanding of NISPOM to be able to make these strategic decisions. NISPOM has to be part of your DNA, and you can lead your organization through national security requirements. As a company officer, FSOs should be comfortable working with leadership and working with the government to negotiate demonstrated compliance. Would you like to have a little knowledge of how to get to this level? Here's just one way you can build credibility and be trusted to make good decisions. I promise to tell you a story of how I used resources outside of NISPOM to increase my understanding of security and stewardship. This initiative gave me the skills necessary to encourage my leadership to invest in the necessary security tools and resources, even though these resources were not a NISPOM compliant issue. And this was after they gave me a hard no the first time I asked. Do you want to know how I did it? We performed well in security reviews, but I believed another layer of protection was needed. I believed that we needed access controls in our environment to protect our employees. I approached the leadership about access control possibilities, and I was met with a hard no. They responded back with, no. Is this a NISPOM requirement? I didn't even have to think about it. Here's what an credible FSO does. I demonstrated that while it was not a requirement, I gave them a reason why it's important and the countermeasures that we need and how it benefited the entire organization. Here's the background. Here's what the leadership didn't know. I knew that the factory, family members, vendors, and others were making unauthorized entry into the building. Each building had in excess of 8 doors, and they all were open at all times. Again, this was not a NISPOM issue. This was an issue of family members, outsiders, and others coming into the building, getting access to the building and our employees, and I thought that was a big risk. Again, this was not a NISPOM issue, but I led the company to a strategic decision that both resolved the safety issues and HVAC expense issues. Believe it or not, after I presented that to them, I also showed them that the HVAC savings more than paid for access control measures. Problem solved without blaming the NISPOM. Would you like to make a similar contribution to your organization? Professional development and a good library are key. FSO should not just do the minimum FSO training courses. A continuous study of NISPOM is required, and taking additional training and reading resources and other opportunities are crucial to making these strategic decisions. I want to help you with your NISPOM training. I've developed NISPOM and FSO fundamental course that is available online. So I teach this course daily to my clients, and they pay tens of thousands of dollars per year for my expertise, my consultation, and my coaching. I want to help you reach your goals of becoming intensely knowledgeable of NISPOM. If only I did this, would it be worth it to you? I've made this training available for you at an incredible price of just a few $100s, not tens of thousands of dollars. And you can take this training at your own pace. This is a 20-hour plus course that is reinforced with lessons from both the old version of NISPOM and the new 32 CFR. Why did I do that? Because it's the same information presented in two different ways. We take the lessons from the DoD NISPOM and the 32 CFR Part 117. Do you know why this is a great idea? That's right, it reinforces your training. Maybe your company won't pay for it, or maybe you're not working yet as an FSO and you're not sure where you're going to get the money. Then I would say invest. It gets replaced every 2 weeks or every time you get your paycheck. Once you spend it, it comes back to you on the next paycheck. You get to determine what you spend it on. But the one thing you can't get is more time. Once you use time, it doesn't come back, and your time's not guaranteed. So take action towards making a strategic decision and establishing credibility as an FSO now. Make a decision to invest in your FSO future. It's easy. Just click the button below to gain access to our training and gain a positively unfair advantage in building credibility as an FSO.